Okay, so you know how we all have these like daydreams about meeting our perfect partner?
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's fun to think about.
Yeah.
But today we're taking it a step further.
Okay.
We're going to look at this idea of envisioning your perfect partner.
Interesting.
Not just like finding them out there in the world,
Right, right.
but actually becoming the kind of person that they'd be looking for too.
I like
So
that.
kind of flipping the script a little bit on how we usually think about relationships.
Yeah, yeah.
So where should we even begin with this?
Well, I mean, the first step is probably the most fun part.
All right.
It's just to let yourself imagine
Okay.
who is this perfect partner? Like, what are those qualities, those values, goals, even like little quirks that make them perfect for you?
Okay, so we're talking like if you could design them from scratch, what would they be like?
Yeah, exactly. And don't just focus on the positive stuff either.
Yeah.
Think about the deal breakers too.
Oh, that's smart.
What absolutely would not work for you in a partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about setting those boundaries early on.
So you're not wasting time on something that's ultimately not going to be fulfilling.
Right, exactly. Because if we're talking about attracting the right person, we have to know who the wrong person is too.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got this vision in our heads, but how do we bridge the gap
Right.
between that daydream and like real world relationships?
Well, that's where things get interesting. Envisioning your perfect partner dives into some psychological theories
Okay.
that actually shed light on this whole attraction and compatibility thing.
Okay, so this isn't just like mystical woo-woo stuff. There's actual science behind it.
Totally. One theory they talk about is attachment theory.
Hey, I've heard of that.
It suggests that our past relationships, especially with like our parents or caregivers,
Yeah,
can actually influence the types of partners we're drawn to as adults.
that's so fascinating. Like our subconscious is working behind the scenes.
Exactly. It looks at those patterns of secure, anxious, or avoidant attachment
Oh, yeah?
and how they shape our romantic choices without us even realizing it.
Wow. So we might be bringing more baggage to the table than we thought.
Yeah, it's something to consider, for sure. But it's not just about our past.
Okay.
It's also social exchange theory,
Okay.
which basically says we're attracted to relationships that feel like a good deal.
A good deal.
Yeah.
Like a sale at the supermarket.
Kinda, but instead of price, it's about the balance of rewards and costs.
Okay, I see.
So it's not just about finding someone who likes the same movies as you.
Right.
It's about aligning your goals, your ambitions, your lifestyles.
Making sure both people feel like they're getting something out of the relationship.
Exactly. Like if one person is super career driven and the other wants to travel the world,
Yeah,
there's going to be some tension there.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
And what about shared values? Like how important is that?
That's huge. That's where the similarity attraction hypothesis comes in.
Okay.
It says we're just naturally drawn to people who share our core values and beliefs.
It's that feeling of like really clicking with someone, right?
Yeah, you feel understood and accepted on a deeper level.
Not just because you both love pizza.
Right. It goes way beyond that.
So it seems like strong connections are built on multiple levels.
Absolutely. It's like this multifaceted compatibility thing, personality, values, goals, even those subconscious attachment patterns we talked about.
Okay, so we've got all these layers to consider, but
Mhm.
now I'm curious, how do we use this knowledge
Yeah.
to not just find our perfect partner,
Right.
but to actually become the type of person they'd be drawn to?
Okay, so here's where things get really interesting.
All right.
Imagine you are your ideal partner for a moment.
Okay, got it.
What qualities would they be looking for in a mate?
Whoa, that's trippy.
Right. It forces you to look inward.
And see if we measure up to our own standards.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a little intimidating, but also kind of brilliant.
Yeah, and there's actually some psychological theory behind this too.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Tell me more.
Well, there's something called self-perception theory.
Okay.
It suggests that we learn about ourselves by observing our own actions.
So like if I'm constantly complaining, maybe I'm not as positive as I think I am.
Exactly. So if we want to embody the qualities our ideal partner would find attractive,
Yeah.
we need to start acting in ways that align with those qualities.
So it's about bridging the gap between who we want to be and who we actually are.
Right. It's not just about daydreaming, it's about taking action.
So less wishful thinking, more like rolling up our sleeves and doing the work.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like you said, it can be a little intimidating to hold up that mirror to ourselves.
Yeah,
But it's also incredibly empowering because it means we have the ability to change.
that's a good point. So we're not talking about fixing ourselves or being perfect.
No, not at all.
It's about growth and self-discovery
Yes,
and using those insights to get closer to our relationship goals.
exactly. And I think it's worth mentioning that this kind of self-reflection, it's actually a key component of cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
It's all about identifying those negative thought patterns and actively working to change them.
So in the context of relationships, it's like
Yeah.
if you're constantly attracting the wrong kind of partner,
Mm,
maybe there are some limiting beliefs or behaviors that are getting in the way.
exactly. CBT can help us unpack those things and create some positive change.
I love that. So this isn't just about finding the one.
Right.
It's about becoming the best versions of ourselves,
Totally.
both for our own benefit and for the sake of attracting a compatible partner.
Exactly. It's a win-win situation. You're more attractive and you feel better about yourself.
That's a really empowering message.
Yeah.
But let's get practical here.
Oh.
How do we actually become that irresistible force, so to speak?
Okay, so I'm going to use a bit of an analogy here.
All right, I'm listening.
Think of it like fishing.
Fishing. Okay, I'm not exactly an expert angler, but I'm intrigued.
You don't have to be. The
Yeah.
point is, to catch a specific type of fish, you need to use the right bait.
Okay.
And in the realm of relationships, that bait is our authentic selves.
So we're not trying to trick anyone or pretend to be someone we're not.
Exactly. It's about showcasing those genuine qualities that make us unique and attractive to the right person.
Because let's be real, that act can only last for so long.
Exactly. Authenticity is key.
Okay, so no more trying to fit into some mold of what we think others want.
Right, because trying to be someone's ideal is not only unsustainable,
Yeah.
it can also lead to heartbreak and disappointment.
That makes sense. So we need to be honest about our strengths and weaknesses and just present our true selves to the world.
Exactly. That's the most attractive thing you can do.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all ties together, but I'm curious to hear more about this idea of becoming the perfect bait.
Okay, so let's dive into that a little deeper.
Perfect. I'm ready to learn more.
So it's about aligning our actions with those qualities our ideal partner would find appealing.
Okay, so we're talking like walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Exactly. Like if they value open communication,
Yeah.
are we actively working on improving our own communication skills?
Oh, I see.
If they're passionate about personal growth, are we investing in our own development?
It's about putting in the effort to actually become those things we admire.
Right. But there's a balance here.
Okay, what do you mean?
We don't want to change ourselves so much that we lose our authenticity.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line between self-improvement and becoming someone we're not?
Right. It's not about adopting a whole new persona. Think
Okay.
of it more like refining those qualities you already have.
Like polishing a gem to reveal its brilliance.
Exactly.
Huh.
Not trying to turn a ruby into an emerald.
I love that analogy. So it's about being true to ourselves while still striving to be our best.
Exactly. And that's a big part of what envisioning your perfect partner emphasizes.
Okay, how so?
They say that masquerading as someone's ideal might work for a little bit,
Yeah,
but it's totally unsustainable in the long run.
because eventually the mask is going to slip.
Exactly. And then you're left with disappointment and disillusionment.
Building a relationship on false pretenses is never a good idea.
It's like building a house on sand. It's bound to collapse.
So the book is saying that by focusing on genuine self-improvement, we not only increase our chances of attracting a compatible partner,
Right.
but we also enhance our own well-being and personal fulfillment.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
I love that. Okay, so this whole conversation has really got me thinking.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not just about finding someone who checks all the boxes.
Right.
It's about becoming someone who embodies those qualities we admire.
I love that realization. And it actually ties into some other concepts.
Oh, really? Like what?
Things like humanistic psychology and self-actualization.
Okay, I've heard those terms before, but can you remind me what they mean?
Yeah, so humanistic psychology emphasizes the good in people
Okay.
and their potential for growth and self-discovery.
Right? Like we're all works in progress.
Exactly. And self-actualization is that process of striving to fulfill our potential.
Becoming the best versions of ourselves.
Yes.
So this is about figuring out who we truly are and nurturing that.
Right. It's not about conforming to what society expects or trying to be someone we're not.
It's about finding our own unique path.
Exactly. And in the context of relationships,
Yeah.
it means that attracting a compatible partner is like an extension of our own personal growth.
That's so cool. So it's not just about finding the right person.
Right.
It's about becoming the right person.
Yes.
Okay? That's a really inspiring way to look at it.
Yeah.
And it shifts the focus
Yeah.
from external validation to internal fulfillment.
Absolutely. True happiness comes from within.
And I bet that inner happiness makes us even more attractive to others.
It's like this self-fulfilling prophecy.
I love that. So we've talked about envisioning our perfect partner. flipping the script to consider their perspective.
Right.
And embracing self-improvement to align our actions with our desired qualities.
Yes.
But what practical steps can our listeners take
Okay.
to put all of this into action?
Well, the first step is to really reflect on what matters most to you in a partner.
Okay, so make that list of must-haves and deal breakers.
Exactly. And once you have a clear vision of your ideal mate,
Yeah.
consider how you can cultivate those qualities within yourself.
So, for example, if my perfect partner is someone who's adventurous,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I should start pushing myself out of my comfort zone.
Exactly. Try new things, explore new hobbies.
Or if they value kindness and compassion,
Yeah.
maybe I could volunteer or engage in acts of service.
That's a great example.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about aligning your actions with your vision.
So we're taking those insights from the envisioning exercise
Right.
and turning them into concrete actions.
Exactly. And remember, this is an ongoing process.
It's not like we check off a few boxes and we're done.
Right. There's no finish line when it comes to personal growth.
It's about continuous self-discovery, reflection, and refinement.
Absolutely. So don't get discouraged if you don't see results overnight.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly. And the beauty of it is that you become more attractive to the type of person you desire,
Mm-hmm.
and you grow as an individual in the process.
It's a win-win situation.
Exactly. And that's what envisioning your perfect partner is all about.
Yeah, it's like we're not just sitting around waiting for the one to show up.
Right.
We're actively creating the kind of life and the kind of self that they'd be drawn to.
Exactly. And it's not about being perfect or flawless.
Right. No one is perfect.
It's about that genuine growth, aligning our actions with our values, you know?
Becoming more of who we really are deep down.
Yes. So if someone's listening and they realize their ideal partner is like super empathetic,
Okay?
it's a call to action to work on their own empathy skills.
So it's not enough to just want those qualities in someone else.
Right.
We have to cultivate them in ourselves, too.
Exactly. It's about embodying those things we admire, not just hoping to find them ready-made in a partner.
I love that. Okay, so we've been using this fishing analogy throughout our deep dive.
Yeah, the whole catch the right fin, use the right bait thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But as someone who's more comfortable with books than bait hooks and all that,
Sure.
can we unpack that a bit further?
Yeah, of course.
What does it really mean to be the perfect bait in the dating world?
Well, it comes down to authenticity attracting authenticity.
Okay.
Just like certain baits attract specific fish.
Yeah.
Our genuine selves will draw in people who appreciate those qualities.
So it's about radiating who we truly are,
Mm-hmm.
not trying to fit into some mold of what we think others want.
Exactly. Because imagine you do manage to attract someone by pretending to be their ideal.
Yeah.
That's not a recipe for a genuine connection.
No, that sounds like a recipe for disaster, actually.
Right. It's so much better to focus on being our best selves.
Yeah.
And trust that the right person will see and appreciate that.
Absolutely. Because envisioning your perfect partner makes it clear.
Hmm?
Attracting a compatible partner is a natural byproduct
Right.
of our own journey of self-discovery.
And growth.
It's such a shift from how we usually think about dating.
It is.
It's not about desperately searching or trying to win someone over.
Right.
It's about becoming the type of person who naturally draws in the right kind of connection.
Exactly. And what's amazing is that it benefits us even if we don't find that perfect partner right away.
Okay? I like it.
Because we're growing and evolving, becoming more fulfilled individuals.
It's like the best kind of win-win.
Exactly. So for anyone listening who's feeling inspired
Yeah.
to take this perfect partner envisioning to the next level,
Okay?
we highly recommend checking out the source material.
Absolutely. We'll link to Envisioning Your Perfect Partner in the show notes,
Yes.
along with some further reading on all those fascinating theories we talked about.
Like attachment styles, social exchange, all that good stuff.
It's a fun rabbit hole to go down.
It is.
But before we wrap up, I want to remind everyone,
Yeah.
this deep dive wasn't just a thought experiment.
Right.
It was about empowering you to take an active role in shaping your love life.
You have more control than you think.
Exactly.
Hmm.
The perfect partner might not be out there waiting, but the perfect you is waiting to be discovered.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
And that's a pretty amazing journey to embark on, don't you think?
Absolutely. Until next time, keep diving deep and keep believing in the power of becoming the best version.